Antarctica is the coldest, driest, and highest continent on Earth, a vast white desert of ice, both beautiful and dangerous. Its sheer scale is almost unimaginable, stretching over 5 million square miles, and its icy expanse holds secrets that have fascinated explorers and scientists for generations. For most of the year, it's locked in a frozen grip, isolated from the rest of the world by treacherous seas and relentless weather. Temperatures can plunge far below -50 degrees Celsius, and fierce winds sweep across the ice, making survival a daily challenge. Yet, despite these extremes, scientists and support staff from many nations live and work here, pushing the boundaries of knowledge. They come to study everything from climate change and glaciology to astronomy and unique forms of life that survive in the harshest conditions on Earth. They endure months of isolation and darkness, forming a tight-knit community at research outposts like McMurdo Station. Friendships forged here are strong, built on shared experiences and mutual reliance. Every task, from complex scientific experiments to the simplest daily routines, demands careful planning and deep respect for the environment. Even a walk outside requires preparation and teamwork. The people here are resilient, resourceful, and deeply committed to their mission. Their determination is tested every day by the elements and the isolation. The risks are immense, especially during the long, sunless winter, when travel is nearly impossible and the outside world feels very far away. Teams who winter over know they're on their own, facing any challenge with only the resources at hand. Supplies must be carefully managed, and every member must be ready to adapt to unexpected situations. In this context of extreme isolation, every crisis becomes a monumental challenge, requiring quick thinking and absolute trust in one another. Antarctica tests the limits of human endurance and ingenuity, demanding both physical and mental strength from those who call it home, even temporarily. When emergencies strike, they require extraordinary courage and global cooperation, as help can be days or even weeks away. Here, living on the edge of what's possible is just another day in one of Earth's last great wildernesses, a place where science, survival, and the spirit of adventure come together at the end of the world. In the perpetual darkness of the Antarctic winter, a crisis unfolded at McMurdo Station. 3 American staff members faced medical emergencies beyond the station's capabilities. One required urgent, specialized treatment unavailable on the continent. The other 2 needed evacuation as a precaution. The National Science Foundation faced a dire decision: attempt a dangerous winter evacuation. Such flights are a last resort, reserved for only the most critical situations. The request for help went to New Zealand, a trusted partner with decades of Antarctic experience. Military planners, meteorologists, and aircrew began preparing for a mission where the margin for error was 0. For those at McMurdo, the wait was agonizing, caring for their colleagues while hoping for rescue. The sense of isolation was overwhelming, with hope fixed on a distant point in the sky. Their fate now depended on a plane that would have to conquer the Antarctic winter itself. Flying to Antarctica in August is a journey into one of the world's most hostile and unpredictable environments. The continent is shrouded in perpetual winter, with temperatures and conditions that test the limits of both human endurance and machine reliability. The mission faced relentless cold, -24 degrees Celsius, making metal brittle and fuel sluggish. Even the simplest tasks like refueling or checking equipment became dangerous and painstakingly slow in the biting air. Every action had to be planned around the life-threatening cold. Teams rehearsed emergency procedures, knowing that a single mistake could have dire consequences in such an unforgiving place. Total darkness added to the challenge. The sun never rises during the Antarctic winter. Navigating in this endless night meant relying on technology and teamwork more than ever. Pilots would rely entirely on instruments and night vision goggles to land a massive C-130 Hercules on ice. The margin for error was razor-thin, and visibility was almost non-existent. The weather's unpredictability was perhaps the greatest risk. Conditions could shift from clear to blizzard in minutes. Winds could howl without warning, and whiteouts could erase all sense of direction. Once past the point of no return, there were no alternate airfields. The plane was fully committed. Turning back was not an option, and the crew had to trust their training and each other. If weather at McMurdo deteriorated, the aircraft would be trapped above the most desolate continent on Earth. There was no backup, no easy rescue, just the vast, frozen expanse below. The combination of cold, darkness, and volatile weather made this mission exceptionally dangerous. Every moment in the air was a test of skill, nerve, and preparation. Every person involved understood the stakes. This was a battle against nature itself. The Antarctic does not forgive mistakes, and survival depended on unity and resolve. Success depended on meticulous planning, flawless execution, and real courage. Every contingency was considered and every risk weighed with utmost seriousness. The safety of all hinged on every detail being perfect. In Antarctica, there are no second chances, only the relentless demand for excellence in the face of the unknown. The Royal New Zealand Air Force sprang into action, planning the rescue with utmost care and precision. Every detail mattered, and the stakes could not have been higher. The Antarctic, with its unpredictable weather and vast icy expanse, demanded respect and meticulous preparation. Air Commodore Andy Scott called midwinter Antarctic flights among the most dangerous missions they face. The risks are immense. Blizzards can appear without warning, and temperatures can plummet to life-threatening lows in minutes. Planners and meteorologists from both nations worked around the clock, searching for a narrow weather window. Collaboration was essential, as even a minor miscalculation could spell disaster for the crew and those awaiting rescue. Real-time data from McMurdo guided every decision, from ice conditions to wind patterns. Constant updates allowed the team to adapt their plans minute by minute as the situation evolved. The mission would use a C-130J Super Hercules, flown by a crew with specialized polar training. These aviators were no strangers to the dangers of the ice, having trained for years to handle the unique challenges of Antarctic operations. A medical team, including a physician, was assigned to care for the patients during the long return flight. Their expertise would be crucial if complications arose in the unforgiving cold and isolation. Every variable was scrutinized: fuel, flight time, and the critical point of no return. The team double-checked every calculation, knowing that a single oversight could jeopardize the entire mission. Only when every risk was mitigated did they give the green light. The decision was not made lightly. It was the result of exhaustive planning and unwavering commitment. It was a calculated gamble, a deliberate choice to face known dangers to save lives. The crew understood the gravity of their mission and the responsibility they carried. The plan balanced urgent need with the harsh realities of Antarctic flight. Every step was measured, every risk weighed against the hope of a successful rescue. All that remained was to wait for the right moment, and for the crew to fly south into the night, trusting in their training, their teamwork, and their resolve. The mission began as the Royal New Zealand Air Force C-130J Hercules lifted off from Christchurch, carrying a skilled crew and medical team. The flight south was long and lonely, crossing thousands of miles of darkness over the Southern Ocean. The Hercules, legendary for its ruggedness, was the ideal choice for an Antarctic ice runway. Inside, the medical team prepared to care for the patients on the return journey. As the aircraft neared Antarctica, pilots donned night vision goggles, amplifying faint starlight to guide their approach. Landing a 70-ton plane on ice in total darkness required intense focus and precision. After nearly 10 hours, the crew approached McMurdo, where the ground team's work would be put to the test. The pilots, peering through NVGs, lined up for a smooth landing on the specially prepared runway. The arrival was a moment of profound relief and triumph. Against all odds, hope had arrived in the heart of the Antarctic winter. The Hercules landing was only possible thanks to the ground team at McMurdo Station. Their task transformed snow and ice into a runway capable of supporting a massive aircraft. In brutal cold and darkness, they used heavy machinery to compact snow, building a dense, solid foundation. The surface had to be perfectly groomed. Any flaw could be disastrous. Floodlights and flags marked the runway, creating a visual guide for pilots using night vision goggles. The team worked for hours, exposed to biting winds, knowing lives depended on their precision. When finished, the 2-mile-long strip stood as a testament to their skill and determination. Their effort was as critical as the pilots, a true feat of teamwork in an extreme environment. They had paved the way for rescue, connecting the isolated station to the outside world. Relief and praise poured in from both the United States and New Zealand after the mission's success. U.S. officials called the flight daring and dangerous, highlighting the deep partnership between the two nations. Air Commodore Andy Scott emphasized the immense pressure and responsibility of such missions, where every decision is life or death. New Zealand's Foreign Affairs Minister expressed national pride, honoring the heroism of all involved, from aircrew to ground teams. These statements underscored that this was more than a military operation. It was a humanitarian act. The mission showcased meticulous planning, flawless execution, and the power of international cooperation. Above all, it was a story of people coming together to overcome the impossible. This dramatic rescue was the latest in a long history of high-risk Antarctic evacuations. The Royal New Zealand Air Force has developed unique expertise in polar operations, answering desperate calls for decades. Past missions, including those in 2021 and 2024, provided vital experience for flying in extreme cold and darkness. Each mission refined procedures and reinforced the importance of teamwork between aircrews and ground teams. Medical evacuations have been part of Antarctic exploration since the beginning, evolving from near-impossible feats to calculated risks. Early flights were even more perilous, flown by true pioneers with limited technology. Today's crews follow in their footsteps, inspired by a legacy of courage and cooperation. The history of Antarctic rescues is filled with stories of bravery and sacrifice. This mission was a proud continuation of that vital tradition. The successful evacuation from McMurdo Station is more than a daring flight. It's a testament to teamwork and international cooperation. The seamless partnership between the United States and New Zealand was the cornerstone of success. It took immense courage from aircrew, ground teams, and patients alike. In Antarctica, no one succeeds alone. The continent's research and rescue efforts are global enterprises. The mission reflected the spirit of the Antarctic Treaty: peaceful, united, and humanitarian. The safe return of the 3 staff members was a victory for planning, technology, and human resilience. Most of all, it was a victory for unity and compassion. Even in the world's most remote corner, the warmth of cooperation can bring hope and light.